This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with a daily wrestling news update. Billy Graham put out this picture of his son on Facebook, WWE Hall of Famer Billy Graham, who has a GoFundMe going for medical expenses under Billy Graham, and gave a lengthy health update, which I'm going to put out at the end of this because there's a lot of news to go over. A WWE ex-writer is apparently suing the company related to apparently quote-unquote racist storylines that she had an issue with. She was apparently fired for stealing a chair at one of the WrestleManias, but there was a few examples listed. Apparently, there was a scene involving Bianca Belair and Apollo Crews that this writer, her name is Abrams, had voiced objection to, and this scene that she was concerned about said that using a quote-unquote stereotypical and exaggerated Nigerian accent, Cruz was supposed to do this promo, and then Belair was supposed to say, "Uh-oh, don't make me take my earrings off and beat your ass." Apparently, she found that racist. I don't understand this. How they should, WWE should really just let their actors join the actors union, because if WWE is just a TV show, there's stuff that can be considered racist in comedy movies all the time. I mean, and you never hear about them getting heat. Remember White Chicks, when those two black guys dressed up as white females? I never heard any feedback on that, but imagine a couple of white males dressing up as black females in WWE, how much heat that would get. But wrestling is, I mean, I don't agree with comedy in wrestling, but they do try and do comedy in wrestling, and it is a TV show. This person's obviously taking it very seriously. Apparently, she sent an email regarding this scene regarding Belair, saying she's going to take off her earrings, and she said, "quote I know I'm not trying to be disrespectful or step on anyone's toes, but I would remiss me if I didn't mention that Miss Belair's scene includes racial jargon and offensive stereotypes, particularly her go home line." She also had an issue with the scene involving Reggie Scripps, who I guess is a WWE wrestler I've never heard of, dressing in drag, which was actually scrapped. But there have been wrestlers dressing in drag. I think the first one I recall was Ronnie Garvin doing the Miss Atlanta Lively thing. Didn't Ric Flair attack some? I think Ric Flair attacked Hulk Hogan dressed in drag before. Big Vito wore a dress for a while. Brian Pillman wore a dress. I mean, it's wrestling. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. I don't agree with script writers or this scripted crap or all this comedy crap that's not even funny, but it's wrestling, guys. It's just a TV show. You should. I could understand why they got rid of this person. I mean, it's supposed to be a fun TV show. I doubt this person had any wrestling experience, but that's what you get when you hire people without wrestling experience. I'm not saying that those scenes seemed funny or entertaining to me, but to me, that's just like something you would see on Saturday Night Live, but perform better on Saturday Night Live. Wrestling gets held to a different. Remember when Brian Pillman pulled a gun on Steve Austin? How much heat everyone got. I mean, this is just acting. I don't understand how wrestling is held to such high standards when it's just a TV show and acting. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And they should have their wrestlers in the actors union. That's bullshit. That's what someone really should sue them over. There should be a class action lawsuit against WWE for not allowing their wrestlers to join the actors union. That's an actual very legitimate lawsuit. I mean, we just mentioned Billy Graham. There's no like 401k or long-term health insurance plan for WWE wrestlers. By the way, NXT did a 0.18 rating last night. Steve Austin told the Bleacher Report that he was pitched a match against one of the top guys in the business, and he let people speculate on who that was. I mean, we definitely heard from reports that he was offered Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. Obviously, he may have had to job to either one of them, so that might have been one of the reasons why he didn't want to come back. He says it was he didn't have enough time to get ready. Possible, but it all comes down to two things, and I've heard Jim Ross say it: cash and creative. If you offer somebody enough money and the creative that they want, they will make it work. WWE star Naomi, former WWE star who walked out on the company with Sasha Banks about a year or so ago, is apparently debuting in Impact Wrestling, according to reports, next week. Wow. Sasha Banks is got a big deal with New Japan, and Naomi goes from being WWE Tag Team Champions to Impact Wrestling. That's lucky if they have 2 or 3 shows a month. And I don't know how much they pay their hire guys, but I don't imagine it's that much, because their crowds are very small overall. 1,000 people, which they recently had in their first time coming to Canada since the pre-pandemic, was like one of their best crowds they've had in years and years. In Atlanta, for one of their TV tapings recently, I read, I mean, they were letting people who bought tickets from the pay-per-view come to the TV taping free, and I think they had something like under 200 at Center Stage in Atlanta. In Albany, they definitely had under 200 for their TV tapings, where they had to delay the show due to not having an ambulance. Anyways, I'm just saying, it seems like a bad decision by Naomi, but at least she's married to a wrestler that's getting a lot of money. I forget which Uso it is. But anyways, Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch is one of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes for this season, starting May 30th. They've announced all 10 episodes. Magnum TA is having one. Adrian Adonis is having one. By the way, Adrian Adonis's daughter did an interview with me on this channel a few years ago. She's in that. Doink the Clown has one. Junkyard Dog, Marty Jannetty, Bam Bam Bigelow, Abdullah the Butcher, and I'm in that one. There's one on WCW Bash at the Beach 2000, and the Graham family from Florida. As far as Buff Bagwell, like DDP, basically there was a deal in place, and it doesn't look like Buff is gonna live up to his end of the deal. And if he doesn't live up to his end of the deal, I'm not gonna live up to my end of the deal. DDP's trying to help Buff out, but obviously he's still having issues. The Blood Hunter picture with Big Cass is great. Yes, Big Cass and the Blood Hunter were supposed to have a match in June 2021 in Dallas, Texas. but Teddy Long canceled it. And that company, SWE Fury, had so much momentum before Teddy Long basically fired the Blood Hunter. And then the whole company was out of business within months. A company that had so much promise. But yeah, it was supposed to be Selena De La Renta and the Blood Hunter and big cast with Melina. There was going to be cat fighting going on the outside, and great. They were building up that Blood Hunter and Cass match, but good for Big Cass. He's back with AEW. But back to Billy Graham. I'll read you guys what was posted about him right now. Posted last night. They said, and by the way, his GoFundMe is just under Billy Graham. You can search it up. It's been 4 months since Wayne has been in the hospital. He's either been or in the rehab center or in the hospital. It's been 4 months since he's been home. Due to ongoing issues, he has now lost 80 pounds and continues to struggle with extreme weakness. The osteoitis infection in his ear, skull, and sinus cavity remains his greatest challenge. He's on strong IV antibiotics 3 times a day to treat this, and an infectious disease doctor said he will need to be on those at least 3 more months. As a result of this infection, he is currently completely deaf. We're praying this is temporary and we will resolve this infection once it's properly treated. He has also suffered with kidney issues and been on dialysis. This is in addition to Billy having heart and lung problems. And being in bed for 4 months has led to severe depression. His financial situation has become dire, and insurance is only covering part of his treatment. His rehab care is $200 a day out of pocket. Unfortunately, both Wayne, Billy Graham's real name, and his wife Valerie had COVID 2 months ago. And in Valerie's case, she still has COVID and has been on a leave of absence from work, so she doesn't have any work coming in. She's undergoing a lot of emotional strain, which sadly she's had to go through her entire life. But this is causing her more emotional strain. And Billy Graham's GoFundMe link, I'll post it on the screen right now. A good case Billy Graham would have had was suing Hulk Hogan for gimmick infringement. Took so many things from Billy's repertoire. By the way, that's Billy Graham's son. So good to see that he went to see him in the hospital. But yeah, that's Billy's GoFundMe. Someone says Teddy wanted Blood Hunter to face the Undertaker. I don't know what Teddy Long's problem is. He was a horrible booker. I admit he was a good manager, but he was a horrible booker. Kevin Sullivan is a great booker, but as good as Kevin Sullivan is as bad as Teddy Long was. And the week before he pulled that crap, he asked me to pick up his friend in Oklahoma and bring him to a show. And in Oklahoma, weed is legal, and Teddy Long's a big pot smoker, which he admits. And it's like I fucking drove with a concussion. I had a fresh concussion, by the way, from a match with Sabu, to pick this guy up, drive him. Which, by the way, Teddy didn't even pay me to drive him. And then he pulls that shit. But again, the company closed pretty soon after, so he lost further paydays. No, Billy Graham never copyrighted his stuff. Don't be sorry for me. I always land on my feet. It's just too bad for everyone involved with that. It's really too bad because there was a lot of momentum there. But guess what? Great North Wrestling has at least 3 shows planned this year, with the first one being next Saturday, May the 6th. And there's no Teddy Long in Great North Wrestling. There definitely is a Kevin Sullivan, a Blood Hunter. James Storm is going to be on the card. Wes Briscoe, Jeremy Prophet, and Jessica Black, who just competed in AEW. Canadian Legends, the Bruiser in Vance, Nevada, Ayatollah Ben Hammond, the Greek God, and much more. And it's all going to be recorded for the Hannibal TV. Oh, a thank you. I'm wearing my official The Hannibal TV polo shirt. And by the way, The Hannibal TV Executive Vice President Jack Kilby is in Cuba right now. So enjoy the rest of your vacation. He only has a couple days left. And tomorrow or tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm interviewing Chubby Dudley. Last night I interviewed Mustafa. The link to that is in the description. New Jack's old tag team partner. Really enjoyed that interview. And tomorrow at 1 p.m., I am interviewing Kevin Sullivan. Cool. Storm is also coming to Calgary. He keeps very busy. Very busy. But he's going to have a hell of a challenge when he steps in there against Blood Hunter. May the 6th in Ottawa.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.
Jack Kilby here, Executive Vice President of Great North Wrestling. No Gimmicks Entertainment is pleased to present Great North Wrestling's huge 15th anniversary show on Saturday, May the 6th at the Earl Armstrong Arena in Ottawa, Ontario. Bell time 7 p.m. This stacked card will feature former TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion Cowboy James Storm, WCW legend The Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan managing the diabolical Blood Hunter, second generation former TNA star Aces and Eights Wes Briscoe, Canadian champion Black Dynamite Jeremy Prophet, and former GNW Women's Champion Jessica Black, the Conspiracy Horsemen of Ayatollah Bin Hameen and Greek god Papadon from Vince Russo's brand, Ottawa wrestling legend Bruiser, with much more to be announced. Fans, there will be a meet and greet before the event and at intermission. Tickets, now on sale, available at ticketweb.ca and at the door. Don't you dare